I want to tell you about the number one reason why engineers are struggling with starting their path towards independence and true freedom. And I've seen this many, many times to a point that it really blows my mind how big of a blind spot this is for engineers and stops them from getting insane results. In fact, most engineers that I've worked with, when they overcome this problem, they grow like crazy. Now, before we get into it, make sure that you pick up your free copy of Engineer Freedom Blueprint. Link below this video. This is the exact blueprint you need to become independent as an engineer. Now, this problem is not taking responsibility when you should as an engineer. If you have a job, you are really good at taking responsibility at your job because somebody assigns a task to you, you take responsibility for that task, and then you fulfill, and that's it, right? So engineers are good at taking responsibility at their job. But when it comes to their own independence, they really lack taking responsibility, especially when risk is involved. In the previous modules, I talked about how taking risk, calculated risk, is a non-negotiable when it comes to achieving independence and freedom for engineers. But this one, taking responsibility, I've seen so many engineers miss out on insane opportunities just because they couldn't take responsibility. In fact, in the book, I talk about an example where this engineer, I was talking to him and he faced a really good opportunity. He knew everything about the opportunity that he was facing, and he just couldn't take the little bit of a risk that was involved, and he couldn't pull the trigger. And he was like, I need to go ask my wife. And then his wife had no idea what the opportunity was. So by the time he went, asked the wife was confused. Another engineer took the opportunity and turned out to be close to 7 figures and actually more now that the project has matured. So I want you to take a look at this illustration here. So you have this engineer, the toaster is broken, you take it to your wife, you go like, can you fix this? And then the result is that the toaster is still broken, but you take responsibility, you fix the toaster, and then the toaster works, right? Super, super important. Now, you need to learn to take responsibility. And most importantly, one of the core principles when it comes to decision making is you need to take the input of people who are fully aware of the very thing that you want to make a decision on. If you go to your wife or your husband and you're asking for a decision for a technical project that you have done your due diligence on, that is really, really bad. In fact, think about it. Imagine that you are an employer, you have a company, you have employees, and suddenly you need to make a decision about a very important project, and you tell your employees that you need to go ask your wife. Not a good look, right? It actually is a really bad look. It's going to make your employees doubt you, and especially if your wife or husband is not involved with the project and it's not their expertise, you're basically giving them the responsibility because you can't take on the responsibility yourself, which is a really weak move, by the way. So I'm not saying that don't take their opinion. Take the opinion of people who are aware and they're the experts in the subject matter and they know everything about the opportunities that come your way. I've seen too many engineers not taking responsibility and trying to deflect, and they miss out on really good opportunities that can truly make them independent, make them truly free. And I've seen this too many times. So I thought that I should include this in the foundations chapter of the book. And this is something that I've seen too many engineers miss out on, right? So you need to always ask the opinion of those who are aware, who are the experts. And if you have confidence towards a certain thing, and you know that this could be a good thing for you, you need to take a little bit of calculated risk and take action, because those who win sometimes lose. Those who don't, they always lose, right? Very simple. So very important concept here. Let me know what you think. Share this in the community if you're struggling with taking responsibility, and make sure that you're going to pick up a copy of the book here, and I'll be talking to you soon.